This evening we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at Clarence Park, where the Saints have gone down to their first home National League self-defeat of the season, 3-0 to previously bottom side Braintree Town. Going into the season, Ian, Braintree made it clear they got limited ambitions this season. They started off with 2 defeats. They got hammered 4-0 at home on Saturday. It looked like they could be the whipping boys. They won in some comfort here tonight, 3-0.
Yeah, exactly, and full credit to them, because on the day they were better than us. They looked a little bit more urgent than us, which was disappointing, because I think we've had a real good urgency about us. Maybe the shape I playing more of a 4-4-2 didn't work for us in terms of what we've been doing, and that's something I have to have a serious look at it. Because I felt the game was too stretched. We were too deep to start with. The 2 forwards got isolated. We didn't win the midfield battle. I'm just disappointed. The 2 goals in a minute, 2 minutes, and it's really just took the whole sting out of our performance. Even though we hadn't reached any heights, I felt we looked quite comfortable. But again, we've not closed the ball down for the first one, which has allowed the lad to get the shot in, which has obviously gone over Dean's head, and then the second one we've not defended it properly from this side of it, and he's just squeezed one in the bottom corner. I thought second half there was a lot more urgency about us. I felt we caused them some problem, got in some good areas, but again, I think we've only made the keeper save make one save all game, and that was just before half time. We've had a couple scrambling around in the box, and Sam's had a shot that's hit somebody on the head, but overall we have to look at it and say it was really disappointing, and something that I didn't expect, and probably the club didn't expect.
We battled really hard against Dartford, and we did against Dulwich Hamlet as well. So despite whatever the formation was today, there's just no excuse for it to being so lacklustre, was there, in the first half?
I think you're right, David. No matter what, what you've got to look at is we've tried to be positive today. We've tried to play 4-4-2. It hasn't helped. Obviously, we've lost Solomon, and David Noble was feeling a little bit tender from 3 games in a week, so we had to be careful there. But again, we haven't been good enough on the day. Our passing wasn't sharp enough early on. We didn't win that midfield battle for me, and I think playing James in there and Taylor as a 2 probably didn't help. That's why we changed it quite quickly in the second half by getting David Noble on, which our ball retention was a lot better, our passing was better, but we'd already given them a lead to look after, and they got everybody behind the ball. Obviously the third goal for them is the icing on the cake, but by then the damage had already been done. We was already chasing the game. We had to throw bodies forward. We had to try and throw bodies in the box, but we wasn't good enough on the day. As simple as that. And sometimes you have to take these games on the chin, though it really hurts at the moment, and we have to look seriously. Everyone's performance, personnel, everything we do. So as I say, the first person I'll look at is myself in the mirror. What can I have done better? And probably the shape could have been better. Do we set them up correctly? Yes, we did. Did we do the set pieces correctly? Yes, we did. On the day, we just didn't really turn up. Wasn't good enough. And you have to say, at the end of the day, Braintree were better all over the park than us. They did their jobs better than us. They looked sharper than us. So we have to go away and look at everything. And start again, because that's disappointing after the first 2 performances, and even performances at Dulwich. There was a lot of good stuff to come out of that. But as I say, I've got to look at myself. Maybe the shape we played today wasn't right, and it left the game too open, too stretched, and personnel didn't do the jobs that they were asked to do.
You mentioned the lack of chances created, but you go back to the end of last season, we didn't score in the last couple of games then. We've only scored 2 in the opening 4 this season, so it's not just tonight.
It's not just tonight, but you also got to look. We haven't tried to not attack tonight. We have gone. Would you say we're a 4-4-2? We're actually, at times we looked like 4-2-4. So we were too open. We were too exposed, and players got into areas they shouldn't have done. And defensively, I felt we had a chance to clear the ball for the first goal. We didn't defend it correctly, and as I say, the lads took a chance. He was left. I don't even think he was set to shoot, but he managed to get it over Dean into the goal. And then the second goal, it's ended up bobbling around in the box, and we've not cleared our lines properly. So as I say, we have to look at everything we do. We have to look at the shape, the personnel, everything we've done today, and where's it gone wrong. And on the end of the day, I just don't think we've been good enough. We got what we deserved. As I say, we haven't created enough, but we didn't create a lot against Chippenham here. We didn't create a lot really in the first half at Dartford, and even at Dulwich first half. So we've tried to be on the front foot. As I said before, we've tried to play 2 up front, but we haven't created enough chances to cause them any problems.
The only player who has scored so far this season, Joey Stefano, You had to take him off in the second half, injured?
Yeah, he was feeling his knee at half time, and we just said to him, go and give it another 10-15 minutes, but he was still feeling it, and he's a little bit concerned that he doesn't make it any worse than what it actually is, so it was best to take him off where he was. He felt something was going to go, so by taking him off we've obviously saved him from that side of it. We'll have to see how it settles down over the next 48 hours. He just jarred it in the first half, and he just felt something weren't quite right there. He said every time he pushed off or did something, he had a pain in it, and he just felt like something was going to go, and he was a bit worried about it. So let's see how it settles down over the next 48 hours and see where we are on Thursday when we turn up, and then we can make a decision by Saturday where we are with it.
You talk about changing formations again, take a hard look at things before Saturday's game. What about changing the squad overall? Possibly anybody coming in, going out?
Well, not at the moment. As I said, it's difficult because we're not even 2 weeks into the season. So you know, I'm quite up until tonight. I've been very happy with the squad. I think the personnel we've brought in has been good. As I've said all along, it's been a tough pre-season because of the player and calibre of player that's out there and what player you want to try and bring in. But again, as I said all along, we've got to give these players a time to adjust to it. We've got to give these players a time to adjust to the football club. So I'm not gonna panic just yet. But we need results, and it's a football result basis. And if we don't get results, then we have to look at everything that we're doing, and it might be that we have to change some personnel and bring some different personnel in and try and improve us from that side of it. But at the moment, we've got to get Scotty Shorten back fit, we've got to get David Noble up to full fitness, we've got to get Tom Bender up to full fitness, we've got to get Joe Howe up to full fitness, and people like Albert Adu and Reece Morel Williams, they haven't played much football over the last 10 days because of obviously they've been on the bench. So there's lots of things to look at in terms of where we are. What players are going to be fit, which players aren't going to be fit. Hopefully Zane Banton's 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks away from where we are, but he's going to need games. And we haven't, as I said before, we haven't got a reserve side, so we have to either set him out on loan to go and get a month's football, or we're going to have to try and get him fit by coming off the bench and playing here. So they're all the things we have to look at. As I say, it's just one of them. It's just a disappointing night. I think disappointing for everybody tonight. But we have to look at it. As I say, it's not one of them that I've not been involved in before, and I'm sure I'm not going to be involved in something like this again. So it's no good me sulking and whinging and moaning and going on the defensive. I can't do that. At the end of the day, as I said, I have to take full responsibility of it. I'll hold my head up and I'll look at it face to face with everybody and say, right, this is what we need to do. We need to improve, because I've been doing it long enough now. At the moment, I don't think we're personally as good as what we think we are. But we've got a good squad. It's how we manage that squad, and as I say, we might have to tinker it. We might have to change 1 or 2 personnel in terms of what we're doing at the moment, and make us very difficult to play against and harder to beat. And tonight was I felt up to tonight we've been very difficult and very hard to play against and hard to beat. I felt tonight we were too easy to play against, and we looked very easy to get beat tonight.
The crowd were very muted at the final whistle, understandably. There were some boos at half time as the team went off. The attendance of 396, it's one of our lowest ones as in the league game since you came here, Ian. People are going to look at that. We haven't scored in our 2 home games. We're 19th in the table, and the price rise, it's not your fault, but you're lumbered with it. Attracting people down here at the moment, it's going to be tough.
Well, and that's the only thing we can do, David, is we can, we've got to get them back by playing good football, and we've got to get them back by winning games of football. We know that, and that's a football basis at the end of the day. I know that. I take responsibility for that, and as I say, the crowd have been excellent since I've been here. We've got to get them back on board. The only way we do that is by winning games of football. I understand their frustrations, but we have to, abide by the rules, and we have to look at it straight in the face. As I said, I'm not going to go hiding, and I'll never go hiding. I've never hidden in the 30 years as been a manager. So, I've got a record there that's been as good as most people in non-league football. And at the moment, it's poor. I don't think it's acceptable. I don't think tonight was acceptable. So I have to take it on the chin. I have to take responsibility for it. I picked the side, and I will do. But as I said, we have to look at everything in terms of where we are. But you're right. Crowds will fall. It is August at the moment. We didn't expect a massive crowd tonight in terms of where we are. And as I say, 400 for me was quite a good crowd. But we haven't helped ourselves by getting our backside smacked tonight. And we've got to improve drastically, because by the time Dorking come here on Saturday, it's going to be a tough game again, and then we've obviously got Concord and Billericay the week after, so it will be a tough period. But next week we've got a spare week. It'll give us a week to have a look at what's available, what's not available, and we'll see where we are after Saturday, because we might have to just change 1 or 2 personnel going into the bank holiday weekend.
But Dorking Wanderers got off to a flying start this season, won their first 3 games since getting promoted to this division for the first time. They're not playing today, they're away to Havant Waterloo on Wednesday, which is a big game. But as you say, that's going to be a tough one Saturday.
Yeah, they are, and as I've said all along, and they've gone through the leagues, and they've got some very good players there. They've got a lot of potential there in terms of where they are, what they've got. I mean, you don't sign Jason Pryor from Havant, who was a top goal scorer in the league 2 years ago, if you're a club that's not looking to be ambitious. So they're a very, very ambitious club. We know that, but we've got to get our own house in order first and foremost. I tonight, and I'm sure the players will walk away from that tonight and think, we have to do better than that. I have to do better. The players have to do better. Everybody has to do better, and we have to improve, because we can't accept a 3-0 defeat like that. And as I say, I thought second half there was a lot more purpose about us. We had a bit more energy about us. We tried to play at a higher tempo, but we can't just keep doing it in stages. We have to do it from the first whistle. And at the moment, we're just not quite where we need to be, and we've got to make sure we improve very drastically over the next sort of 3 or 4 days, because I can't sit here and watch that again on Saturday, because if it does, then I've seriously got to look at some things going into the bank holiday weekend to try and turn it around and put it right.
Lovely, thanks very much, Ian. Open and honest, I think you're happy tonight. Right, thanks. As we say, Saints next in action this coming Saturday, the 17th of August, when Dorking Wanderers are at Clarence Park. National League South kick-off is at 3 p.m.